So does everybody have a template? Grab a template if you need it. Oh, I forgot to ask. Did anybody get a chance to ask anybody else where Iraq was? We got a couple more data points. Let's come back. Since we're halfway in the middle of this now, let's come back and look at that a little bit. How many people did you guys ask?
I think
12 and 4. Perfect. Get add it to our data and see how it all comes out. It's fun. So anyway, IQ scores after head trauma. So we're trying to see if acute head trauma lowers IQ. Why do we care about this? Athletes, right? Head trauma, boom. Soccer's a big one. That's what's coming up a lot in the car wrecks. Car wrecks. Bicyclists, right? My question would be, why use IQ? Anybody? Anybody? Any idea? Why would you use IQ? Any guesses? I love all of what Austin just said. Bicyclists, yes, definitely commuters, or just bicyclists in general, downhill mountain bikers, landing face first on a pile of rocks. Football players, American and other kind of football. Car wrecks, slamming the head on the steering wheel, or just whiplash, right? Head trauma. But why use IQ?
It's the standardized test we have for testing.
I think that's the best. I think that's the best answer. Anybody else have a different answer? I'm not saying it's the only one I've ever thought of is we actually have a number and we have a center number that we can compare to. And if we knew these people averaged 100 already, remember that average IQ is 100, remember that from 243? If you know they averaged 100 already, you now have a reference point to work off of. Is there a different way you could see if acute brain injury did something detrimental? What do you think, Austin?
Well, like when I played rugby here, we had to take a test before we even started playing, so that way if we did get hit in the head, then we didn't take another test.
Oh, that's interesting.
they're doing that with high school kids too.
Yeah.
With rugby and soccer and football and things?
Yeah.
All sports? Lacrosse, oh yeah, lacrosse.
Yeah, the center is actually donating their time to do it. I'm sure they're getting some great research out of it.
I'm sure they are. But it's a wonderful idea, isn't it? Then you got to pre-post. Can we come back to that? I love that idea. That actually, is there any way you guys get the data from that? Do you have any idea if you get the data?
Yeah, probably.
Could you? If you can get it, we can test it in class. Because what you've just answered my question is you've given me a better indicator. The reason I pick on IQ is that I'm not entirely sure what it actually measures. Right? IQ, as from what I can tell, measures people that can take IQ tests very well. Like I routinely test over 135, which puts me in like the genius category. I'm like, please, I'm standing here in bare feet. Okay? But I'm predisposed to doing well on them. Why?
Did you test well?
I test well in what subjects?
Math.
Math. They're heavily math-based. What else is on math? Everybody ever taken an IQ test before? They're kind of fun if you like math, pattern recognition,
Spatial.
logic, spatial, being able to rotate figures and look at shades on figures, grammar, ex-Catholic schoolboy, nobody has better grammar than his dad. So, I mean, like, I'm predisposed to succeed in an IQ test. So I'm not exactly sure that's the best way to measure whether or not a brain injury is doing something negatory. Is intelligence what we want to measure, or is it just like a knowledge base? That's why I'm excited about what I'm hearing from you three. That maybe there's like a knowledge base, like knowledge you have going in, and knowledge that may have been compromised coming out.
I don't know exactly what they test, but like my son's friend had a really bad concussion, and he had the screening before, and he went in and got tested, and they would test him every couple days, or like every week or something, and then they wouldn't let him go back to doing anything until he passed it.
So maybe it was something like this, where this was his previous score, and he tested so far down here. Like you can miss a couple. I mean, God knows if I took the test, I have a wide range. You can miss a couple, but if you miss too many, then it triggers them. It's like, maybe we take some time off, let the brain swelling go down more. Maybe it's impacting nerve centers. Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, they can't go to school, they can't watch TV.
Like, just rest your brain, right? Rest your brain. That's interesting. Give me that data. I'd love to see it. If anybody,
I'll check in.
Or just send me an email and me track it down. That might be better than having you guys try to scout it. Okay, good. So, thank you. That was a richer discussion than I thought it was going to be. I always pick on IQ. I pick on IQ because it's a bit of a pain in the butt. I mean, honestly, it is. It's a pain because of the fact that, well, what is it measuring? I'm not sure. But that's the data we have. So I have a question for you guys. Assuming these folks had an IQ of 100 when they went to the tests, are their IQs lower now?
Doesn't appear so.
I got to vote for it. Doesn't appear so. Tell me why, Veronica. Those of you playing the home game, I emailed you the data sheets, but there's the graph we're looking at.
On average, they're close to the 100.
So did you hear what Veronica said? She's looking at the data. Have you guys located 100 on the horizontal axis. Good, you've located 100. It's kind of in the middle. I placed it kind of in the middle there. And they're close, yeah? But now here's, of course, the next question I'm going to ask.
How close?
How close? Right? That's always the question, isn't it? I mean, if we can actually calculate the average, let's do this right now, shall we? What is the average, what is the sample average of this study? 95, that's the sample mode. Is the average the same, Danielle? Because the problem is, and I love what Danielle just said, she's like, well, look at the spike. There's a spike at 95 to 100. 20 out of, how many people are there in the study? Maybe 100-ish, somewhere in there, maybe 50 or 60. We'll get the count here in a minute. So roughly a third of them have an IQ between 95 and 100, which is close to 100. It's a few points below maybe. But the trick with using the mode is we can't, because you can't infer anything from a mode. A mode is a strictly descriptive statistic. You can't put a margin of error on it. Well, you shouldn't put a margin of error on it, otherwise it's apples or oranges. So, let's do a little 243. Good, you guys are already on it. Grab your TIs, let's calculate an average. Yes.